Alright, baseball fans, we're here with another edition of Out of the Park Baseball 24. We are the general manager of the 2023 Chicago White Sox. This episode is going to be a little different. April is over. We're going to go over our team's stats and check out our prospects, see how they're doing, and look at the league leaders. So first off, let's check out our team page. Hendricks is still out for 4 months. Crochet should be back in 2 weeks, and he'll be a nice boost to the pitching staff, hopefully. Coming back from Tommy John, work him into the bullpen. Let's check out our pitchers. Let's see, got my pitching stats up. Dylan Cease has started 6 games, thrown 39 innings, 2.31 ERA. Whip is 1.26, higher than it should be for him. Striking out 21.7 of his batters faced with a high walk rate. ERA plus of 175. Clevenger has started 5 games. He's 2-2 with a 1.99 ERA. A .82 whip for the veteran pitcher. Striking out 22.9 of the batters he faces. Not walking many. Really good ERA plus. Really good FIP minus. .9 WAR. He's been our best pitcher in the rotation so far. Giolito in 6 starts is struggling a little bit. He has a ERA over 5. Where's his game log? Right here. Yeah, so he's just giving up 2 to 5 runs every game. It's not really giving us a very solid effort right now. His FIP minus is 111, ERA plus 77. So he's performing at a below league average level. His BABIP is 281. That could come down and straighten out his stats a little bit. Michael Kopech, 6 starts, 32 innings, a 3.03 ERA, high strikeout rate, 27.4% of his batters faced, high walk rate, FIP minus of 80, ERA plus of 133. And the veteran Lance Lynn, 6 starts, 35 innings, 3.86 ERA, 1.14 whip, low walk rate, doesn't strike out as many guys as the rest of them. ERA plus is 105. All right, Tanner Banks out of the bullpen. He's being used in middle relief. He's made 12 appearances, 18 innings. Has a 4.34 ERA. Strikeout rate of 28. Hasn't walked many at all, 2.7%. His ERA plus is only 93, but his FIP minus is 87. My mouse isn't working very well. All right. Aaron Bummer, 29-year-old left-hander. He's only pitched 5 innings. He's a left-handed specialist. 3.38 ERA. He's not getting the strikeouts. Good ERA plus. Bad skill interactive ERA. I do not know the formula for that, but lower is better. Jake Diekman, veteran lefty. 9 innings, 2.79 ERA, 1.34 whip. Striking out a lot of guys, 40% of batters faced. Great Sierra skill interactive ERA. Joe Kelly has thrown 11 innings, 3.97 ERA, 1.5 whip. High strikeout rate, really high walk rate. And he's overall not been very good. He's got a negative WAR. Jimmy Lambert, who doesn't have a lot of potential as much, has pitched well to start the season. 56 FIP minus, 155 ERA plus through 10 innings of work. Jose Ruiz, 11 innings, 3.18 ERA. And our closer, Ronaldo Lopez, in 14 innings, has a 2.57 ERA, 1.07 whip, ERA plus of 157. He is throwing the ball well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our batters. How are we going to sort this? Tim Anderson leads the league in the team in hits with 32, 30 for Benintendi, 27 for Robert, 27 for Vaughn. Andrews and Jimenez with 23 hits apiece. 7 doubles for Anderson and Benintendi. 1 triple for Benintendi. As a team, Robert has 8 homers, Jimenez has 5, Grandal 4, Anderson 3, Benintendi 3, Sheets 3, Vaughn 2. Runs batted in, 3 guys with 16. Jimenez, Robert, Sheets, 14 for Vaughn, and 11 each for Benintendi and Grandal. Runs scored, Anderson, Robert, Vaughn all have 15. Luis Robert only walks 2.7% of his plate appearances, while Grandal's walking at a high rate of 14.6. Benintendi's drawn walks. Our bench players are striking out a lot. Jimenez is striking out 32%. Vaughn is striking out the least at 14%. Andrews 15, Anderson 16, Benintendi 18. We're not running a lot. Robert has 3 stolen bases, Anderson has 2. We was caught stealing twice. So as a team, we have 7 stolen base attempts in the month, I believe. Batting average: Tim Anderson 291, Benintendi 280, Robert 257, Moncada 246, Andrews 245, Vaughn 243, Grandal 219, Jimenez struggling at 197, and Sheets 189, and nobody on the bench has a batting average over 154. We're going to take a look at our minor league system and see if we can't do a little workaround. On base percentage, Benintendi is leading the team at 371, 341 for Grandal, 328 for Anderson, 317 Vaughn, 297 Robert, 283 Moncada, 273 Andrews, Sheets 243, and Jimenez 240. Robert slugging the ball at a 533 clip. Benintendi 449. Anderson 436. And Andrews is not slugging at all at 266. Win probability added. Benintendi, Anderson, Robert, and Grandal are the only guy is positive. Jimenez is struggling once again. OPS, Robert is at 831, Benintendi 820. Andrews, Sheets, Jimenez, and Moncada are all under 600. OPS plus, Benintendi 132, Robert 131, Anderson and Grandal 116 and 106, and the rest are below league average hitters through month of April. This is 100 is average. Pitches per plate appearance, Grandal, that's no surprise. Anderson at the bottom of that is no surprise either. Tim Anderson is a 1.0 WAR, Benintendi 0.9, Robert 0.9. Sheets and Jimenez is really struggling. It's negative 0.6. Let's look for him to have a better May. Andrews is playing a really good second base with a 3.1 zone rating. Anderson's playing good at short. We need to upgrade our right field. Grandal, we need to upgrade our catching defense. All right, our top prospect is at AA, Colson Montgomery. 96 plate appearances. He's not lighting the world on fire with his bat with a 203 average, 70 OPS plus. He's got some development to do. Hopefully he can improve. We can get him in AAA next year. And he can be ready to play some ball in the big leagues in 2025, hopefully. Shortstop, Jose Rodriguez. He's in AA right now. He was in AAA to start the season. Really struggled. Got sent down. 244 average. He's hit 3 home runs in AA so far this year. Norge Vera, a 22-year-old pitcher. He's in AA for the second straight year. He's made 5 starts, 5.84 ERA. He's not pitching well. Oscar Colas. He may be coming up, and hopefully he can take over for Sheets in right field. 103 plate appearance. He has 8 homers, 20 RBIs, 298 batting average, a 133 OPS plus. We're going to get him on the big league team, and we're not going to waste any time doing it. Brian Ramos is down there at high A ball. He's playing well. He can improve and develop into something possibly. A fringe player in the league. Sean Burke looks like he's our most ready pitching prospect. 2-1 with a 3.41 ERA in AAA. He's given up 7 home runs in 34 innings. I don't like that. ERA plus is a 144. He's got 4 pitches he can throw. Someone's getting demoted. Position rating. Do I have a backup at every position? Yeah, Garcia can play center. Reyes. I think I'm going to demote Victor Reyes. To AAA. Let's look at the entire team's stats real quick. Lennon Sosa is playing well. It's good to see. 435 average, 208 OPS plus. Cespedes is playing well. Do I bring up Cespedes over Colas? Colas gives us a left-handed bat. Let's compare them. All right, contact the same. Gap power goes to Cespedes. I goes to Colas. Potential. Cespedes has better contact potential, better gap power potential. And Cespedes has more speed. Defensively, Cespedes is a better defender. He can play left and right. I think Cespedes might get the call up. Yulki Cespedes. Welcome to the big leagues. And let's see what Pedro Grifal does with you. He has you versus righties backing up in center field, every outfield spot. You're still not going to take over from Sheets. You will play every fourth game there, every seventh game there. You'll be used as a #1 pinch hitter and pinch runner against lefties. Same deal. You'll play every other game and every fifth game here. And you'll still be our best pinch hitter and pinch runner. Hopefully you can improve and overtake Sheets at the position. We will wait and see. Let's take a look at the league leaders. We are going to do sortable stats. Batting qualifiers. Corbin Carroll leads the league in hits, the rookie in Arizona. Miguel Vargas for the Dodgers is tied with Carroll for 41 hits. Anthony Rendon for the Angels has 40. If you want to look at that deeper, you can pause it. Alek Thomas, 23-year-old center fielder in Arizona. They've got a good young squad coming up. Leads the league in doubles. Ahead of Yordan Alvarez, Charlie Blackmon, Nick Castellanos, Carlos Correa. And if you want to look deeper into that, you can pause. Triples, 4 guys with 3. Javi Baez, Warming Bernabel, who made the jump from high A ball last year to making the squad in Colorado. That's why I've never heard of him. Jonathan Daza and Brian Reynolds. Benintendi has 1. League leaders on home runs. Nick Castellanos has 12. Schwarber has 12. Joey Gallo has 11. Rowdy Tellez has 11. Shohei has 10. Matt Olson, who is injured with an oblique strain, has 10. Hoskins 9. Jorge Polanco, Cal Raleigh, Tyler O'Neill, Luis Robert, and Mike Trout have 8. Trey Mancini's got an injury, an intercostal strain. RBIs, Matt Olson leads the league with 34. If you want to look into that deeper, you can pause it. Corbin Carroll and Trey Turner both have 27 runs in the month of April. Patrick Wisdom has the highest walk rate in the league with 17.2% of his at-bats. Vinny Pasquantino, 16.8. G-Man Choi, 16.3. Benintendi makes the list at 12.9. And if you want to look at that deeper, you may pause. Strikeouts. Let's see who walks the least. Dominic Smith. I was expecting to see a bunch of catchers at the top of the list. Luis Robert. It's not a list you want to be on. Elvis Andrews. They're up there swinging away. Strikeout percent. Jake Myers, 36.1. Jimenez is striking out 32.8 of the time. And you can pause and look at that. Stolen bases. Trey Turner has 13. Estuary Ruiz has 11. They have more stolen bases than my team has even attempted. Anybody getting cut down a lot? Jeff McNeil is 1 for 5. Does he have speed? Is he just running? Yeah, he's got okay speed. He's getting cut down. Miguel Vargas, batting average of .398, third baseman for the LA Dodgers. They just pluck guys in and they contribute. Story of the Dodgers' life. Corey Dickerson, 33-year-old, playing left field in Washington. He's bounced around the league quite a bit. What did it say his nickname was? C Dizzle. Brian Reynolds, 373. Brian De La Cruz, 360. Rendon, 357. Corbin Carroll, the rookies down here. On base, Vargas leads that as well. 475 OBP. Slugging. No one's slugging better than Nick Castellanos by a wide, wide margin at 741. Rowdy Tellez 714. Reese Hoskins, Josh Naylor. And you can take a look at that list on your own if you wish. Win probability added. I don't know a lot about this stat. I just think it factors in a lot of your stuff you do in clutch situations, which is why Ben attendees on the list. G-Man Choi, top of the game for the Pirates, their first baseman. OPS 1.108 for Brian Reynolds. Nick Castellanos tied with him. Tellez, Naylor, Josh Naylor. He was a thorn in the White Sox side last year. OPS plus. Brian Reynolds is leading the league in hitting. These are your top hitters. 100 is average. So you're going to see a lot of big names at the top of this list. Shohei, BABIP. I don't read too much into that stat. Who's seeing the most pitches? Joey Gallo. WAR, Castellanos 1.9, Trout 1.8, Correa 1.8. As the months go on, some of these guys will run away from the pack into MVP contention. And the best defenders right now, Wilfredo Tovar playing second base for Pittsburgh. Lindor, Lopez, Cedric Mullins, Elvis Andrews is the defending, catching the ball. And we're going to look at rookies real quick. Corbin Carroll, Miguel Vargas, and Gunnar Henderson are the top 3 rookies in the league right now. And now we're going to take a look at pitching stats. Let's look at the pitching qualifiers. These are your rookie pitchers that qualify. Ryan Nelson, but it's too early to look at that. Mike McCollis in St. Louis has 5 wins. Ohtani, Rasmussen, Joe Ryan, Tyler Wells. There's Dylan Cease on the list. It's kind of a trivial stat. Saves. I gotta take the pitching qualifiers off to look at that. $11 for Jordan Romano. Ronaldo Lopez has 8. Innings pitched. DeGrom leads the league in innings pitched, 49.1. Alek Manoah, 45.2. Corbin Burns, Yu Darvish. The who's who of pitchers throw the most innings, clearly. Chris Battis giving up the most dingers. Some of those to your Chicago White Sox. I don't see any of my guys topping the list. ERA, gotta put my qualifiers on. Martin Perez, 32-year-old left-hander from Texas with a 1.07 ERA. Shohei 1.26. Chris Sale's bouncing back, 1.38. Let's see, WHIP. Shohei Ohtani, Steven Matz, Clevenger, good to see. Strikeout percentage, Hunter Green striking out 33% of the batters he faces. Andrew Heaney, 31. Who's walking a lot of guys? Dylan Cease walking way too many guys. He shouldn't be in the same list as Drew Rukaneski. Nathan Eovaldi, in 29 innings, has walked 1.7 of his batters faced. Lance Lynn's on the list. If you want to look closer, feel free to pause. Strikeout percentage minus walk percentage is a sneaky little good stat. The top guys in the league will show up on this list. ERA plus, Martin Perez, 382. Holy guacamole. FIP minus, Kyle Wright, Severino, Verlander, Freddie Peralta. WAR, Verlander at 1.6, and Skill Interactive ERA. You know what? I'm gonna look that up. What is Sierra stat in MLB? The Sierra definition quantifies a pitcher's performance by trying to eliminate factors the pitcher can't control by himself. But unlike a stat such as xFIP, Sierra considers balls in play and adjusts for the type of ball in play. The concept of Sierra is fundamentally the same as any other ERA alternative in that it aims to properly reward the pitcher for what he does well and penalize the pitcher for what he does poorly. For simplicity, Sierra is scaled to mirror ERA so fans can quickly recognize a good Sierra score just by thinking about it in terms of ERA numbers. Under 3, excellent. Over 5, not so much. Traditional ERA treats all runs the same, regardless of how they come about, unless they are the direct result of an error charged to a fielder. That is unfair to the pitcher, as a pitcher working with a quality defense is going to have a much better chance to prevent runs than a pitcher backed by poor defenders. The performance of the pitcher is only one component of run prevention, so an ideal pitching stat is one that strips away those things over which a pitcher has no control. A pitcher should not be punished for playing in front of a bad defense or for pitching in a hitter-friendly park. How is it calculated? The calculation for Sierra is complicated, really complicated. In fact, to give you some idea of how complex the math is for this stat, Fangraphs offers a 5-part article to bring you up to speed. If you'd like to dive way down deep into the nitty-gritty of the stat, those 5 articles will provide you what you desire. Otherwise, it's easy enough to simply look up Sierra scores for any player in the big leagues. While we aren't going to go deep into the math here, we can highlight some of the underlying numbers. Strikeout, it's no surprise that this stat is key in the Sierra calculation, as a strikeout is the best possible outcome for a pitcher in any given at-bat. Walks, on the other side of the coin, are a big problem for pitchers as they turn into base runners 100% of the time. BABIP tends to normalize toward league average over time. There are pitcher profiles which tend to live above or below the typical BABIP mark. And park factors are also adjusted in. What are the problems with Sierra? Sierra is a strong stat and a good choice as a place to start when evaluating pitchers. Sierra would be a good way to start identifying the best pitchers in the league for a given season, but you should take in other stats as well, such as FIP and xFIP. Alright. So it's a more complicated version of ERA that takes poor defense and park factors out of the equation. For instance, DeGrom is a 2.74 ERA. He's either playing in hitter's parks or has poor defense because his SIERA is lower than his ERA. So Chris Sale is a 1.38 ERA, and his SIERA is higher. So he must be playing in front of a good defense in a pitcher's park, if I'm correlating that correctly. But anyways, let's look at your White Sox. We made a roster move, checked out the league leaders. We will be back next time where we play a series against the league-leading Minnesota Twins. 3-game series. Check the standings. They're 19-10. Big series coming up next episode. I'll see you then. Hit that like button, subscribe, give me some feedback, and let's play ball.